Okay, so we're converting line position of 6 over lines, not over travel. Second communication lines of settings. Process of 2024 is the center operation lines of past. 2026 is the foundation. The foundation, okay, the ground lines the body has to recognize the center position, okay, which is 2026. And you have to send how position to its settings. Now, how you want to travel 2030, that's process position, add the equations plus. Right? So that puts position of 222, 246. Process how lines of communication. 6 comes to lines of setting, process line center location flux. So you have to create a flux capacitor, time capacitor, body capacitor. That's how we go through the lines of position, okay? But the past of time frame, which is always in the now, the present of time frame, which is always in the now, and the future is always existing, ongoing. So it's processing three tweaking wires into one sound through location, 3 converting lines of wire signatures and coils that converts the system, decompressing to its compressors, process at position locations, metal alloys, correcting ground lines, creating a triangulation into a flux line grounds. Okay, so that converts the system in the settings of travel. That converts the operation location of cerebral cortex of travel into your network system, your neurological pathological system, your neural network systems, lines together, modem, Wi-Fi, sats, and towers. But now you have to understand time replacement. This process your setting gets you out of the astral projections and put you guys in position locations through your doppelgangers, okay, through time. So you start to recognize, you already saw this in vision. That's already set up. It's already done. That's the spiritual force. Now the body sees it and knows exactly where it's in time frame. So it knows exactly its place it's going to be in. Okay, but it has to process the past of the now, the present of the now, and the future of existing. Now that's how time works all at once. 2024. Okay, you have to have a time conversion system, a time centers of operation, which is time replacement. So you're taking the astral projections out of the equations and you're replacing it with doppelgangers. The projection of light is who you are, but also in set position is doppelganger is also who you are. But you see information setting more consolidarity in your base. So you see yourself more of clarity and more of you rather than just seeing a projection of light of you. So there are 2 conversions that you have to convert to. Process in that direct center's location is understand to see the past, the present, and future in one of ongoing. So that puts the position of all levels, how you go through your settings of your system, not just your doppelgangers, but understand the space of time, 2024, space of time, which is the grounding to the space. And then you come to time of space, which is the foundation, which is the center of the body, okay, which is the center Earth, okay, which is 2026. Okay, so you got space and time of the past, and you got time and space in the presence, and you got the future setting, which is ongoing to the external, to the system, internal to the external system extension. That process you, how you see your formation settings, all through flux capacitor. Okay, that's how you go through time. So it's 222, that's 6, then you add 9. And 6 and 9 come together through polarity lines of course centers, converting system, and travelers, their flux of time, and your body capacitor in one cycle, the set position. So once you reach your destination that you've already gone through already, the communication system, the spiritual adaptation process lines comes into the back of the center of 2026. Okay, it starts with you in correlations of balance, but the body itself location is 5 years ahead of schedule. So the spiritual adaptation goes to the force, and the body comes into the time replacement in that converting system all through travel. Okay. So that means if you're going to be in positions and settings to 5 years ahead of scheduling, that's 5 years speaking faster in seconds, minutes, hours, and light years away. But it's all in a constant continuous, always in set flow and mechanism. So you have to process that set location and see it through flux capacitor. That's the flux capacitor. Going through past, present, future, that's how you set it up. Yards, meters, metrics, and scale. Okay? And with time in real time. Time jump, vortex, time leap. So the team has to really come into that now because they're coming into the extension of expanding their system. And that's the process how we see ourselves in all direct lines of communications, all through attractions. Okay? Space of time, time and space, and future existing. Okay? See, the thing is, everything you notice in the position of the spiritual system has already been through the past, present, future. But now the body has to really come into time replacement of its system, so understand its time format, so it knows exactly how to understand the concept of time, which is the foundations, which is 2026, and understand divine timing, okay, which is already gone through, the past, present, and future all together. Now you process the positions, you come into number 3, past, present, future. That's what 3 indicates. So the body has to recognize that, not the spiritual system. The spiritual system is already set everything up already in a correlations panel. Now how to process that is all time replacement. And knowing through that is through an argument, and understanding that is through influencing your system, and knowing in that factors puts you in triangulation setting the flux. The process of the triangulation lines a box, the operation location of trifactors. This factors everything in a set position of operation. So the body knows exactly what 3 means to its system, which means the spiritual adaptation has already been here with that number. You see the vision cortex first? That's done to the spiritual line. You've got to get out of your set position and get into the time replacements. So you've got to get out of the delays now, because you're expanding yourself instead of going to travel. Okay? Through doppelgangers. Through flux, time, and its capacitor. Flux, capacitor, time. Body, capacitor, time. Okay? That time measures everything in time itself. Okay? So you have space-time. Okay? Pay attention now. Space-time is the past of now. So let's write that down. Space-time. So you don't get confused. Space-time. Time is space is where the body comes in, foundation of 2026. Pay attention now, okay? So you understand that. Space and time is the past of now. Present time, okay, is 2026. That's the body information of its earth grounds. That modifies its space grounds, okay? And then the body goes to the future existing of its location to its destination. So you tweak the wires, you come into flux, time, and body capacitor. There's the flux capacitor, right there, yards, meters, and metrics. And that processes your system, how you get in that communication system, all through your eyes, all through travel. Okay? So that's a lot to configure your systems and coordinates when it travels in set position, right? There's the flux capacitor. Okay? Space. So I want you to really understand how this all works. Okay? Set position here. Space is time, time is space. Space existing all at once. That's 3 tweaking wires: time, flux, and body. That converts into one cycle. Okay? So when the eye rotates the system, it propels the engine. Equilibrium and location of setting, circulation, rotation. Okay? As it goes faster, it creates a propeller. Okay? It creates a propeller. And once it gets in that position, it starts opening up a portal in the inset position. Directing force, direct and redirect is one, right? But it crosses that position, creates a portal of communication. And when it creates a portal, it creates a stargate. Now the stargate opens up the signals. Now that process locates in past, present, and future that's centered to your communication setting through flux capacitor system. So once that comes in positionalized setting, once it gets a certain frequency, your eye turns into the earth, which is space and time. Automatically in the past time now, and then it comes in the present time. The body has to recognize that formation setting, which is time and space. The bodies come into time and space, not space and time. Okay? That's the time it sets the signals, knows exactly it's coming in divine timing, because it already knows the concept of time, all right? Concept of time is the foundation of 2026. Divine timing is where the body sees this in 3. So it signal aligns the signals and knows exactly what letters, numbers, shapes, and is, and the body comes in, converting setting, precognitive system, that the future adaptation through the spiritual realm is already set up its body doppelganger and set lines of operation. So the body recognizes it through divine timing. It knows its concept of time, which is the foundation of its earth, 2026. Okay? So you have to understand the past, future is all in one position, existing all at once in all timelines, and everything's happening all at once. So it's really interesting. You put all 3 together, your voice is speaking faster because you're at a schedule. So your destination is 2030. So you're doing this 5 times. You're speaking 5 times until your body understands the conversions of balance. So it doesn't understand its position until it understands its operation, that the spiritual force has already set this up through its excursion, which is basically Stance precedes everything to its operation system and travel, all through its flux and its time and its body capacitor. Okay? So there you go. That's how you go through time. Okay? All right. So once you set that up, you automatically see the earth. And then the body sees it. And then it sees time. Divine timing. Concept of time is the foundation. Divine timing, the divinity time, is when the body comes in that time frame, which is in the now, which is the future. So it reaches its destination, knowing it went from 222, that's 6, right? 2024 to 2026. Pay attention now. Okay, to 2030. Now 2030 stays in the center of operation. Okay, so you look at this, there's the flux. That's how you go through time. All right, so this is the center operation that opens up the portal and the stargated travel. Okay, now you have a time frame, past, present, future. See, right there, past, present, future. There's your pyramid in operation. Okay, and then you go set position. Here's your time frame settings. Set position of 2024 and 2026 becomes its time frame. There's the time capacitor. Okay, your body capacitor becomes the window frame and travel. So I'm just giving you guys basic understanding how this all works. That sees the flux capacitor itself. So it understands the coils, compressors, in its position, the conjunction system and time frame line centers of operation setting, flux capacitor, time, and body capacitor. There it is. There's your flux capacitor. And once you set the flux capacitor, it lights up and it rotates the circles through its atoms and correlates converting system interactions. Right? So it comes in this position. All particles go around the system. Okay. So your grounds, your power, and your atmospheres goes in 3 cycles in one setting. Okay, it's that position, operation, subtraction, like that. Okay. So it converts everything inside position. Okay. Oops. So you got a ground line centers, you got power generator, and you got your connection to your atmospheres. Okay, grounds, powers, and atmospheres, right? Now, once it coordinates that position locations, it goes into its circulation and its rotation. Okay? When it goes into that position, then it comes in Merkaba, tetrahedron, and tetrahedron. There it is, Merkaba, tetrahedron, tetrahedron, boom. Now, you are in the center that bring your astral projection of yourself, or anything doppelganger that you bring yourself in that positions. So the portals, lines of travel, exactly where you're going to be. Okay? It's that position. Okay? So your body's here, it travels here, in that position, which is the center of time. So it's at 2030, and it sees number 3. There's number 3. Looks at the 3 angles, knows exactly it came from the past, present, and its future in the same time. Right? So that's basically understanding how you do platforms. 3 platforms of settings, process positions, and 4 in travel communications, indicating what 3 means to itself in all directions in divine timing. Flux, time, and body. Okay? But it goes through its Merkaba, tetrahedron, tetrahedron to get to its destination. Right there, number 3. So it knows it's gone through that, the future adaptation. So it's kind of like your future self, which is always exists in the center of itself, which is all of the dust, is leaving the breadcrumbs now for the body to adjust and form and shape its anomaly. So it knows exactly how to go through time. Okay? Space of time. Time of space, and future of existing. Comes all together and creates a flux capacitor. Okay, guys? Okay? It's trippy as it goes through the supposition. So when your eyes go in position right over left, you have earthbound and you got outbound. Setting 1, setting 2, and triangulations over 3. Okay? There's Earth 1, there's Earth 3. Inbound, outbound, right? So you got 4 centers and 4 windows in travel. Okay? And 4 centers, 4 windows in travel. Okay? So that's 4, set position 3. This is your time frame. And this is where Tesla comes in. How to modify 369. 369 in travel. You convert to set position lines of setting, rotate the system in circulation, bring it to triangulation over lines and grounds. So you bring it up in panel of operational platforms and travel. Okay? So you open up the triangulation here, and it just gets bigger and bigger. Once you modify your system and travel, you come into that, the more you come into yards, meters, metrics, you start to see yourself in the simulation system all through travel. The simulation, right? Now, when you're in simulation, you look at number 3. So I'm just going across border so the body knows exactly what concept of time is, okay, and what divine timing, definity of time is. So you understand the balance, how that converts the system to space and time, time and space, and future of itself is just existing of time itself all at once. So again, let's do this again so we don't get confused. 2024, 2026, and this is how you really travel through time. Okay? 2024 is space and time. Space grounds. Okay, Earth, triangulation box, and Fibonacci. Okay? So, bracket position, 3 zeros and tractions, 2 lines, operation, 1 cycle. There's your pyramid. Okay? That's the pyramid you're going to go through, the C3. The body has to recognize the time line center first. All right, so we tether positions here. So process of 2, 0, 2, and 4. 1 setting, right? Then we process in position lines of 0, 2, and then position the line calculation setting travels of 3, set lines of 0, and that position location of 0 and 2, and set position. So that's 4 over 3. Okay, so that's an adjustment that the body has to recognize. So that's consciously aware to its consciousness. Aware consciousness. Now, we change the consciousness over 3 and put the process line's position to its awareness over 4. Okay, so 3 plus 4 equals 7 of operation. So that's how it creates the circulation settings, right? So you process the awareness, the body's aware, now it becomes consciously aware of what that means to its system, because the spiritual adaptation has already set up its location of its destination, which is the concept of time, where the body comes into divine timing of time itself. Okay? So it's all direct and redirect, but a cyclone comes in line course centers into circulation rotations, and surface and travel. Okay? So that process position of 7 and 7 operation line, position of travel communication. Directing ground lines, earth line operation signals, location setting, and 42 location streaming. Directing ground centers has position locations, so we take 2 and we take 6. Okay, time flux line grounds. Then we correlate the communication setting, so we take the 3 centers, okay, and we take the 4 centers and set position. Okay, so we get 7 line signals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 line signals down the throat, which is your carotid. This change your harmonics grounds. So it has alpha tones, theta communication lines, a high setting. So you have to stand flux over travel. So that converts the ascending calculation lines, and then you upswing the locations and set position. Each number indicates ascending of travel, 3 signals, and 4 centers of calculations. Line set location open transmission, okay? Flux capacitor, okay? Then you set a coil resistor to the grounds, powers, and its atmospheres, recoil its system in converting time frame. So the body knows exactly what is coming into its flux time and its body capacitor. There it is. All through time, okay? Past of time, present of time, and future of always time. So it's kind of like memory, no memory, access of all memory. See, you have to have that because the past is the memory itself. Present, okay, is no memory. Okay? And the future is all memory. Now you collaborate that and you put that all together so the body knows exactly it's already gone through 3. And the place that it went to through its destination location puts in its places, objects, things, and its location. Its direction. So the body knows exactly the concept of time and definitive time itself, that it goes in divine timing. So it knows exactly that the spiritual self set up number 3, which is going through the past, present, and future. And that's what 3 means to me. Now, after that, you add 1 and you add 8. So that's 1 grounds of each central setting. Okay, that's room number 318. That's it there. That's the position that you process through. So everything has to have a past, present, future. 3 is past, present, future. 2 is past, present, future. 3 numbers is still past, present, future. But you're going through past, present, future, past, present, future, past, present, future, through 3-digit numbers, okay? So either way, it doesn't matter, because each number has its own past, present, future through its own flux, time, and its body of passer that's already gone through the spiritual system of force, direction, and time, okay? So once you get into 3, and you get into 1, then you get into 8, right? So this is flux, this is flux, and this is flux, okay? 3 Y screens, okay? Which is processed into how many line calculations send in travels of direct locations, converting time frames in position of flux, 3 face recognitions, past, present, future, and 1, right? So that process of 3 face, process of 1 face, and process another face, a pattern recognition. So you got 3 converting settings in a triangulation box, into flux, into Fibonacci, through codification, right? So every time you see a number, you're seeing past, present, future, 1 face recognition, it's that position. So that means the stamps perceive that future alteration setting is already set up, past, present, future, for the body to see number 3. Okay? So you have to really understand time. It works in the concept of time itself to flux. Okay? Yeah, that doesn't exist. That's the start frame. Get out of that equation. Okay? So I'm going to take your time measure outline signals here. All right, so setting centers of travel converts operation line grounds. Now, because you guys put yourself in position, your body has to know exactly the concept of time, definitive time, and the divine timing. So the body knows exactly what's going on every second, every minute, every hour of its day. And that's how you go through time, through flux and body capacitor. Okay? So this is a very, very powerful class of notification. Okay, so you get a true understanding. The higher you go in faster lines, the more you see yourself in the time replacement as doppelganger, not through astral projection. Astral projection is just understanding how to go through flux and time and body itself through projection of light and dark at the same time. So you can understand how to turn yourself into a pixelation or a hologram. Now that modifies how you see things in its perception itself. That brings you into the awareness to its consciousness. Because your spiritual force has already gone through time with you. Okay? So I'm just trying to get you guys to understand how you have to balance this out when you go into equilibrium of 2024. 2024, 2026, and 2030. Okay? There's your flux capacity. Okay? That's how you go through time. Okay? And then you set up the clocking system. That's it. Through face recognition. There's your face. Okay? So it's pretty simple. You see that? So you got 3 converting angles. Process 1, 2, and 3. Right? And then you got the center operation of your time frame that processes your system. Okay? So it processes direct centers in data operation system, flux capacitor. Okay? And once you motivate that line grounds, you come into yards, meters, and metrics to scale how the eye sees the settings. Process here, triangulation. Then you go through split lines of anomaly, and then you put yourself into your iOS of programming. Okay? And then it goes through its platform, right? 2024, 2026 is in center of operation of concept of time, going through the set position operation of cerebral cortex, going into the future of its time itself, through travel. Then it sets up location. Then it sets up its position, location, and setting, rainbow to frost bridge, all in one. Then it opens up its portal, and then it goes through its bridging and set position of operation. Okay? That's how you travel through time, through Merkaba. So as you go faster, time goes faster. Okay? Time goes a lot faster through star mechanisms. That's where your star lines come in. Star lights, star screens, star positions, star operations. And that process here, process here, process here. There's your Merkaba testing of tetrahedron, a faster communication teleportation travel. Okay, that's what a star is. Star is the foundation you're sending through travel. Everything you see in position is nothing to travel itself. But you have to modify how to see the concept of time, definitive time, and divine timing of itself. So you understand the process. So you know exactly the next time you come in a Mason system, this number is already set up for your body to go through, which is divine timing. So it knows exactly what that indicates to its system, so it knows exactly what's going on as its three sees a number of 3. Past, present, future. 2000 the flux capacitor going all lines all at once. So now the body's going faster because it's in its destination in settings. So it's going 5 times faster. So it's on the phone 5 seconds. But in space, it's what? 5,000 seconds. See? That's the Earth, space and time. That's a foundation of 2026. Okay? Which you have to extremely understand how that works through time and space. Okay? So, and then 2030, which is the future existing, which is time itself. It keeps expanding and expanding and exploring to its system. All through yards, meters, metrics, and scale. Okay? So that's how you go through space and time. Through time and space and future setting. Okay? So there you go. We're going to stop there in Set Lines of Travel because there's a lot you guys need to adjust information system all through the calculation system. I'll center up and back line communications back in life. Okay? All right. So we can have a DQ. That's totally fine in that position. You guys are going to get more than ever because now you're in your time replacements in travel. Okay? So we'll be in the time replacement lines into flux capacitor time, body capacitor location 1C line 1 level, and docking station 8. Docking station 8. All right? Adios.